It's a rare logo.
It is a rare logo.
It is. It's also a Nintendo logo.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
God. That thing on the left.
Presents...
What is that?
What is this game series, you might ask? Well... Bada boom, bada bing. It's also Donkey Kong Country 3, which just so happens to be the game. Also, Gunky and Monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was from the playthrough we did earlier through NetPlay with Dylan and I. So, as you can see, we did not get too far.
I didn't even know you can name files in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless, but I like it. So,
spending
I
so much
just
time.
remember the constant whining of Kitty Kong. That's mainly what I remember.
no, a positive.
You didn't put the ampersand.
I couldn't find it.
I did see.
So the game starts off with Dixie almost drowning, and then being soaked into a cave.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Wrinkly, she's in this game, I guess.
She has a Nintendo 64.
She does. Yes.
I believe if you wait here long enough, you can hear like a Donkey Kong Country rendition of Peach's Castle.
Yeah, it kind of happens randomly. Like, I'm sure we'll see it in the playthrough, where just like you'll go into the cave and it'll happen. So.
Yeah, this game was released after the N64. That's why that's there.
Yep. This was kind of like the last. I mean, from what I can remember, like Kirby's Dream Land 3 was like '97, so this was kind of like the last push of Super Nintendo games before the N64.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, also on like
Banjo.
pre-Banjo.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Banjo.
Just saying.
I've noticed that years ago. There's a bunch of bears in this game. They all look like Banjo.
Yeah. So this game, I don't know if you've seen our DKC 1 or 2 playthroughs or just happen to play through the games, but this game kind of has more of an emphasis on the overworld and kind of like collectibles and trading, so which I do happen to like. Also funky, as cool as ever.
This song's awesome.
Yay! Guess who?
Yeah, we just got our burden of the game.
So, okay, it was Funky's idea to just chuck this baby at Dixie to take on this very dangerous
he's probably
adventure.
in the shop or whatever, just like, I can't deal with this stupid kid. Dixie,
can't blame him.
You take this thing.
I can't blame him. Kitty Kong is awful.
I really can't. Okay, so, I gotta explain. So, there's these, banana birds in the overworld, and you have to do Simon Says, basically, and you get a bird. So, it's a thing in this game.
I just now noticed those are the Super Famicom colors.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice touch.
I mean, excuse me for not noticing, considering, we have the boring gray and purple buttons in America.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't know that, you would have been kind of just lost upon with that.
I wouldn't say lost, because I don't think anyone's gonna sit there and go, what do the colors mean?
That's true. Yeah, and so, one thing that's kind of weird with, like, this game, that kind of goes for a little more of a realistic look. So, like, the enemies are more, like, animal-focused. That's what's cartoonish. Like, I don't know. It's different for, like, the second game.
If I remember, that's what the first game did, too.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. And basically, if you played the first 2 games, it plays fairly similar. Kitty kind of controls like Donkey Kong, but I think he's just, like, I don't know. I don't like him at all. The only thing I like is when he gets hit and he, like, cries.
That's why I
know
hate him.
Cross is like Ron, but...
it reminds me of Baby Mario and Yoshi's Island. I hate it.
Also, the elephant brings up a good point that they focus way more on the animal buddies in this game.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, Rambi's not in this game. The spider is, like Squawks is. I think that's kind of it. The rest is original. And Guard, I think, is in this too. Yeah. A couple of things. Yeah, you'll see with every level. Like, that's one thing I kind of like about this game, but also kind of don't. It's hit or miss with like the gimmicks they try to put in. But like every level kind of tries to add their own little twist to like different mechanics, which either like works pretty well or just doesn't really work. So.
I think it's worth mentioning that this game was developed by the original team. It was like a B team at Rare.
Yeah, because the main team was working on DK64.
Were they specifically working on that game, or were they just working on other better games like Banjo?
This game was developed alongside DK64. Yes.
So DK64 was in development for like 3 years?
Yeah.
This came out now, okay.
Huh.
Hold on, okay.
I believe so. I could be misremembering.
I mean, I don't know, there could have been some...
I will fact check myself.
Are we gonna... Oh, I was gonna say, are we gonna force Jacob to do some extra research while editing?
I was gonna say... Oh yeah, also, like those silver bear coins, those are like the in-game currency. They're not really that useful. You buy like some stuff across like the islands to like get stuff. It really isn't that essential. I don't know. It is. It isn't. Like I don't know. Like I don't think I had to grind like really too much to get the things I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think when we were when we played this, Dylan, how did we play it in order? Was it 2 first and then 3 and then 1?
It was 2, 3, 1. I remember because it was the Ocarina of Time numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny that you remember it that way, actually.
Development began in 1997, shortly after the completion of DKC3. So this actually was made by the main team. It just anyway.
Okay, well in that case, they were working on something else.
Or actually, hang on 1 second. A team of 16 people worked on the title over the course of 3 years. Additional 8 members. Many developers transitioned from Rare's Banjo team, which had worked on Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, this is for DK64, sorry. This is
history lessons with DB&J.
Maybe they transitioned to Project Dream at this point, because that would eventually become Banjo. I'm trying to think of other rare. I'm trying to think of other rare games that are in development.
Banjo was Project Dream before it became Banjo.
Yeah. And that started out on the Super Nintendo, which would explain why this game wasn't developed by them. If the main Rare team was working on.
You guys create a rabbit hole. I gotta do my digging now.
I honestly don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of like making guesses here, so please don't take anything I'm saying seriously.
Yeah. So I actually did take the time to research it, thanks to Brennan and Dylan. So what I found is that DKC3 did come out in '96, and that they began development on DK64 in 1997. That's also when the actual Banjo-Kazooie that we know today began development in March of that same year. So at this point, I don't know which team worked on what. I'm guessing developers crossed between both. I don't have the patience, so go look yourself. Brendan.
A lot of times I just kind of ramble when we do this channel, to be honest with you, so if anything I say doesn't make sense, it probably doesn't.
What are you talking about a lot of times? We exclusively ramble.
Yes. Exclusively.
I like the clownfish, that they look, just the face paint on the fish themselves.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, should we also talk about how this is Canada?
Oh yeah! It still takes place in Canada, doesn't it?
Well, okay, is it did we had a discussion on this before? Is it Canada or is it like Northern Europe?
Okay,
like Norway.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Canada, but it's not actually Canada. It's like the Donkey Kong universe equivalent to Canada. Which is weird because like this area has like a coral reef and stuff, and I'm pretty sure Canada doesn't have those.
If there are any Canadians watching, let me know if there's coral reefs.
I mean, I've been to Canada a couple times. I didn't see any coral reefs.
Yeah, okay, I guess, backstory with this, Brennan, I guess we all kind of live within, like, what, you'd say 10-15 minutes of the border of Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived, there for quite a while, and I've never visited Canada. Even though I had the enhanced license, which let you drive over to Canada without a passport, and I never went to Canada. I just never had
I've only been there once as a kid, because we went through Canada to get to New York one time.
Okay. Was that for, like, Niagara Falls?
I think so, because it was like 4 at the time when we went to New York, and that was a long time ago.
Okay. So you got the good view of it then, the Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Did we clarify we live? Did we clarify we live in Michigan?
I think so.
Well, we live in Michigan.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Well, okay.
I don't want to say the specific city we live in though.
Well, no.
Well,
yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to be saying that.
I mean, okay.
You say that, but you gave it away in our Mario 64 online video, and I had to censor it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, is it really that hard to find at this point?
I mean,
like
probably
15 minutes away from the border, like Canada.
Okay, it's probably not, but I mean, I'd rather make people have to do some digging in order to find out what city I live in, rather than straight up saying it.
Okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, I live in the great state of Florida.
Florida.
The retirement state. New York State. For all the New Yorkers.
Wait, I thought New York State was New York State.
Well, it was, but now they're in Florida.
So is Florida New New York?
It's, yeah. I guess.
From Futurama.
New York.
Wait, does that mean you guys have floating cars and stuff?
We're getting there. Oh yeah, bonus coins. If you play DKC2, a lot of this just kind of carries over. So the bonus coins, you need 15 to unlock like each like bonus level in the Lost World. So like a spoiler, there is a Lost World, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
We're
not very good at keeping spoilers out of the way, are we?
I mean, it's a game from 1996.
Aerith dies.
Kitty dies at the end, by the way.
Yes!
It's a very
I like how anybody playing Final Fantasy VII Remake now just like, damn it!
Dude, that's like the most famous video game spoiler to ever exist.
Okay, so this is our first like animal transformation level, and this kind of, I'd say it's like the first point in the game where like they try to like push like the kind of gimmick aspect of it all. So obviously like the thing is like elephants are afraid of mice, so like you run away from them. So like, but if you're in the dark and you don't see them, then you can like attack them. So that's the whole gimmick they're going for. Anyway.
Those things are like Tigger, except reptiles.
Yeah, as a kid I thought that too.
They're even orange.
Yeah.
What the heck, Rare?
Like, why are we killing him? Like, oh, okay, this is the same universe, I guess? Like, where's Pooh?
Okay, so the Donkey Kong series takes place in the Mario universe, and Banjo takes place in the same world, and so does Conker, as proven by Diddy Kong Racing, because that's absolutely canon.
Yep.
And now we established Winnie the Pooh is in this universe.
Which is also in, well, I think it's also in South Park, but there's a lot of things.
South Park is like the biggest crossover in all of media.
I was gonna say.
You know, I like how at the beginning of South Park it even says that nobody should watch it. Like, that's great.
How to sell a show. I mean, it must have been on to something, so. Like, it's still on.
Even after all the offensive things they have done.
The offensive things is what powers that show.
I was gonna say.
It feels it. They feed on it.
It draws attention, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like, care for like this part of the level. Like, I don't know. It's fine. It's just, I don't know. It just breaks the pacing of it all. Like, I'm used to like DKC2 where you could just like blast through it.
Yeah.
But this is a little more like puzzle solving.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the other Donkey Kong Country games have like a flow to them. If you know what you're doing, you can just never stop, but this is a lot more slower paced.
Yeah, and you can try to like, as you saw there, you can try to like get by without doing what they want you to do, but
yeah, and as we were actually playing through these games on NetPlay too, like, I was even like realizing, like, I know why people like the second game so much, because the pacing is just so much better than the other two.
Yeah, and when you, so as you saw there, like when you get stuck in that fright stage, also first yay. But when you get stuck in that fright stage, you like lose control of the character briefly, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, the moment like when the video game takes away control from a player like that, I don't like that. So
yeah, it feels cheap. It's like there's like nothing I could have done.
It has to be done tastefully. Like, I don't know.
Didn't you see like a freeze frame moment, but not like, you know, you get knocked back and you lose control or something.
Yeah. So, okay. We have context for this.
Oh god, not this again.
Yeah, I don't.
So when we did NetPlay, Dylan and I I guess I did it once and like I beat Cranky. It's a carnival game show. You basically have to beat Cranky. There's different mini games you can do. I'll show off one here soon in the gameplay. Basically, how many times did we wait? Like 20 times or 30 times? It was something ridiculous. Cranky beat him every single time. We spent like a half hour. I'm like, Dylan, you got this. You can beat Cranky at least once.
I
He
swear
never
it had to be like
could.
10:30 at night by the time we were done.
Cranky beat him every single time.
This old man is a pain.
Yes.
I hate him so much.
I really.
I mean,
okay. Before you go on, I just want to point out I really like how there's plushes of like different animal buddies throughout the series. It's really cool.
yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully it's like a tug of war thing.
Yeah. So the thing is, like on the right. Yeah, basically.
They do that.
Yeah. You showed at least with all your losses, Dylan. I got to see dialogue that I've never seen before. So.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when you win, you get like double the amount of coins, like a lot of bananas.
See,
so.
no, this is a funny thing that happens, right? I suck so bad at games that it's funny when they watch me play games because they're like, I've never seen that before. I go, wait, what? Really? They go, yeah, I never died there before, and I always feel like crap afterwards.
What kind of boss is
guys.
this?
Okay, so this is kind of like weird because like you're fighting a barrel, which is kind of a staple with Donkey Kong Country series. But yeah, make it go burp, and he moves back. So that's the boss.
Some good life advice there.
Make it go. Yes.
This one's actually kind of annoying. Can't be anyway.
Yeah, I find it. Like I switched over to Kitty because I just find it easier. Really enough, he's like a better character for this boss fight.
Yeah, he has more traits of DK than Dixie does.
Yeah, but he's not DK.
Which really, the only good trait he got from DK was carrying and throwing things in front of him.
Yeah, everything else can go. Forever be gone.
That's what made Diddy so good, was because you could hold things in front of you and you moved really fast, so it was like best of both worlds.
Yeah, it was like the perfect combo of characters, really. Definitely. But yes, it is over.
It is.
It is over.